begun by the Senator for Kilifi and Leader of Minority on the state of public institutions in Kilifi County, and join those that are quickly saying that this is not just about Kilifi alone, but it's a national-wide conversation. I know this administration, Mr. Speaker, has tried to address this particular challenge, but a lot still needs to be done. I know, Mr. Speaker, that in the last, I think, 1 or 2 years, I saw the reports from Ministry of Education that 23,000 plus classrooms have been built and more than 76,000 teachers employed. But that is a drop in the ocean, Mr. Speaker, based on the state of education in our public institutions and the desire, Mr. Speaker, to bring it up to the level that it was back in yesteryears when many of us, Mr. Speaker, went through public education. I'm a product of public education, Mr. Speaker, from primary all the way to university, Mr. Speaker. And I shudder to imagine if I had been born in this generation and this was my time to go to school, Mr. Speaker, the quality of the education that I would receive, whether it's comparable to what I got in those years, Mr. Speaker. We must be concerned that despite the fact that education continues to be the biggest consumer of our public budget, I think this year's budget is over 700 billion shillings, Mr. Speaker, we must be able to see where that money is going. I appreciate, Mr. Speaker, what has been done, for example, in the share system. What that share system has brought to this country, Mr. Speaker, is that citizens are now able to see which are these institutions that benefit from monies that have been contributed to the public. I want to challenge the members of the Education Committee that we must push the Ministry of Education to publish the list of the institutions per county that are benefiting from this school capitation, Mr. Speaker, and the number of students in that particular institution, so that we slay this dragon of ghost students and ghost institutions in our public education, Mr. Speaker. 700 billion shillings is not small money. We need to see, Mr. Speaker, the value for that particular money. And the only way, if we can get to know if indeed Kenyan taxpayers are getting value for money, Mr. Speaker, is if this information is made public, Mr. Speaker. And I believe with all these schemes and NEMIS, these public infrastructure, IT systems that the Ministry of Education keep talking to us about, isn't it time that they lay this information out in the public so that I know in Kericho County, Mr. Speaker, what is the number of public institutions that are receiving the portion of this 700 billion, how many students are being catered for, so that if, Mr. Speaker, there are ghost institutions, the people, the young people, and all the guys that consume public information, Mr. Speaker, will be quickly able to point out. This same conversation about our public institution is the same mess that was created out of the desire to turn institutions that societies fundraised for, Mr. Speaker. I know you grew up in a generation where people used to fundraise for public institutions long before the days of CDF, and you contributed your cows, your goats, your sheep. Then after a certain number of years, there was a change in policy. And you were told those institutions have now been converted to quote-unquote national schools, Mr. Speaker. I am speaking like this because I am pained by what happened in Litein Boys High School, Mr. Speaker, 2 nights ago. You saw the destruction that was meted out on that particular institution by people who are rampaging and were out on a strike, Mr. Speaker. That is an institution that people contributed their monies, Mr. Speaker. It's not just public funds that has built that institution. People did fundraisers over the years to build that school to that particular level. Then some truant young men just comes out of nowhere, Mr. Speaker, and ban the institution, say we don't like the principal and this and that. That is a great disservice, Mr. Speaker. And we must have a conversation about these so-called national institutions, Mr. Speaker, that came out of that policy that was made, I think, 3 or 4 years ago, so that people who appreciate the pain and the struggle that it went to put certain institutions in place can be the majority of that particular institution, Mr. Speaker. It is my hope that, Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Education will quickly step into action, ensure that the root cause of the problems in many of the public institutions across the country, Mr. Speaker, that are going out on strike, Mr. Speaker, is addressed so that our young people can learn in education institutions that we are all proud to be associated. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Majority Leader. But if I look at both sides of this house this afternoon, I don't know, did not pass through the public institutions, right from primary, secondary, up to, I know I have one suspect only. I have one suspect only from my left, but I'm not very sure about it. Okay, next is Senator Mutahi Mohamed Faki, Senator wa Mombasa.
Mheshimiwa Spika, hata mimi nilipitia shule za umma kutoka Bomu Primary School, Juda Day Secondary School, Alidiza Vizram na baadaye chuo kikuu cha Nairobi. Mheshimiwa Spika, nimesimama kuchangia maombi ya taarifa yaliyoletwa bungeni na seneta wa Kilifi ambaye pia ni kiongozi wa wachache katika bunge hili. Mheshimiwa Spika, elimu kama waliotanguliwa wamesema ndio urathi mkubwa ambao wazazi wanaweza kuachia watoto wao. Lakini tunaona kwamba hali